Red Zone weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Megginson. A severe weather update starts right now.
A winter storm watch now in effect for all local counties ahead of potentially significant impacts from a winter storm set to move across our region as we get into Tuesday and Tuesday night. This will be a winter storm warning by the time we get to tomorrow, and big time impacts possible on Tuesday that could be quite disruptive. Let's talk about what we've got going on tonight, because we do have an extreme cold warning. Right now, temperatures already below freezing across much of north and central Mississippi. Temperatures locally are hovering around freezing farther inland, and we're going to have freezing temperatures all the way down to the Alabama and Northwest Florida beaches by the time we get to tomorrow morning. These are the projected lows in the morning. So temperatures going to decrease into the 20s overnight, upper teens farther inland. This is what you will see on the thermometer around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. But you factor in the wind and you get those wind chill values, single digit wind chill values across the region, all the way down to the beaches in some cases. And so very cold conditions overnight have prompted a rare extreme cold warning for all local counties across South Alabama and Northwest Florida. So a very cold night ahead. If you haven't already, bring the outdoor pets inside as we have an ongoing extreme cold warning valid until 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So a very cold night tonight. Highs tomorrow going to only be in the 30s. And so it's going to be a chilly Martin Luther King Jr. holiday across our region. By the time we get to around this time tomorrow night, going to be in the 20s yet again, below freezing in many spots by 9 p.m. tomorrow. And then on Tuesday morning, that's when we'll have to start watching that radar, as we could have the potential for snow flurries flying as early as 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Greater precip amounts coming later in the day. By 6 a.m. on Tuesday, we will be in the 20s. Those wind chill values yet again going to be deep into the low teens across the region. So another very cold night tomorrow night. An extreme cold watch is in effect for tomorrow night. I expect that to be upgraded to a warning. And the main deal, the entree that we're talking about this evening, is the potential for a winter storm that's going to set up to our west on Tuesday morning, likely bringing snow and mixed precipitation to parts of the Texas coast, along with areas in Louisiana near Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, even New Orleans. Probably going to get some snow off of this winter storm. That look is valid at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, with the whole system setting up to our west, poised to come into our area as we get into the afternoon hours. Now, keep in mind, we could have some snow showers and showers of mixed precipitation as early as, say, 8 or 9 o'clock, but I think the main action probably going to happen in the afternoon hours of Tuesday, when we have the potential for heavy snow and mixed precipitation across our region. When you see these colors, the white and the blue indicate snow, pink is freezing rain, orange is sleet, and the orange and green is where we see rainfall. And so let's kind of zoom in and show you a localized view of this. We're not expecting precip issues on Monday. It's simply going to be dry and quite cold tomorrow. But then on Tuesday, we'll be watching areas to our west, and by lunchtime on Tuesday, we could have snow falling all across the region. This is going to be a disruptive event. And what I've told folks throughout the day, and what I'm telling you tonight, is plan to get somewhere early Tuesday morning, maybe even Monday night, and stay there for the duration of the event. You don't want to be out driving in this mess, I should say, if you can help it, as this is going to be a situation where we have quite a bit of snow and ice on local roadways. And the timing for this is starting Tuesday morning across most spots in our area, extending into the afternoon and evening hours, with precip kicking out to the east by the time we get to Tuesday night. Now, you may be wondering, how much snow are we expecting? And here's your answer. This is the latest forecast, and let me caution that if there's one thing that is difficult to forecast in the weather world across the Deep South, it's winter storms. And so don't be surprised if we see some isolated higher amounts and some surprises on the low end as well. We may see some spots that don't get the amount of snow that they're forecast to get. There will be some folks most likely that are disappointed. But across the region, we're generally forecasting 2 to 4 inches of rain across much of Mobile, Baldwin, Escambia, Alabama, northern Escambia, Florida, northern Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties, along with Conecuh, Monroe, Covington, southern Butler counties over into the Wiregrass as well. And so 2 to 4 inches of snow, not rain, but snow, going to be the norm with this event across much of our area. And it's interesting because this band of snow could set up 50 miles to the north. And in that case, that means that areas to the north would get more snow, whereas farther south, there may be less snow. In addition to the snow amounts that we're forecasting on the screen in terms of the totals here, we're also concerned in this red hatched area that we could see some ice accumulation as well. And that could be particularly problematic when it comes to trees and power lines coming down. There is a chance that we could see some accumulating ice, particularly in coastal Alabama and across northwest Florida. We can't rule out mixed precipitation even farther north than this, but this is the area where we have the greatest concern for the potential for snow and mixing with ice, and that extends over here into the Florida Panhandle region, from Seaside down to Panama City, Port St. Joe, Apalachicola, back up to Quincy and areas near Mariana as well. So ice going to be a concern as well with this system, but regardless of what type of precipitation you get on Tuesday into Tuesday night, this is going to be a significant impact type event. The entire area shaded in this purple shading, and that tells us that travel conditions will likely be dangerous at times with ice and snow on the road. And keep in mind, on Wednesday morning, it's going to take a good bit for this to melt, and there is a chance that even into Wednesday afternoon, we could have issues with travel as temperatures are not forecast to get very high on Wednesday. Highs on Wednesday probably going to be closer to 40 degrees, but there still could be patchy areas of roadways where we could have problems if we don't get rapid melting in the morning on Wednesday. And I suspect that probably will be the case. Now, let's look at the precip types. Mostly snow farther inland to the coast. That's where we have the greater chance of mixed precipitation in the form of ice pellets, that being sleet, freezing rain, which is liquid rain that falls as a liquid but then instantly freezes on contact. That's what we don't want. And the greater probability of that happening is down here south of Interstate 10. We may get some of that north of 10, but I think the greatest issues with freezing rain likely to happen south of Interstate 10 in parts of coastal Alabama and specifically here in northwest Florida and the Florida Panhandle region. And so freezing rain possible closer to the coast, most likely farther inland. This is going to be a pure snow event. And obviously that's rare. And so if you have kids, plan on Tuesday to get out and be in the snow. This is a once in a decade type event. Now, timing. This is the start times in terms of when we're projecting the impacts to start in specific areas. And these have been adjusted a bit. Looking like Tuesday morning across much of the region, we could have snow and mixed precipitation starting Tuesday morning. Middle part of the day over here in south central Alabama, even parts of southeast Alabama and much of the Florida Panhandle, and in the afternoon hours over in far southeastern Alabama, over in Georgia, and over near Tallahassee as well. So again, the big call to action here is Tuesday morning. That's when you need to have everything done. Course of least regret, I would have everything done, everything prepared by 5 a.m. Tuesday morning, just to be safe. That's probably when you need to get where you need to be with this system and plan to stay there for the duration. This is going to come in from the west and push to the east across our region. We're talking a 70 to 90% chance of at least 1 inch of snow across much of our area, especially across inland areas of southwest Alabama. The snow chances are a bit lower near the coast, and there is a chance that if you're near the immediate beach zones, that if this thing shifts a bit to the north, there may not be any snow near the coast. But I think the greater probability across our region is that most of us will probably get snow. And keep in mind, again, Winter storms are notoriously difficult to forecast. This thing could be 50 miles farther north or 50 miles farther south. You may wake up with 6 inches of snow on the ground in Gulf Shores, Alabama, as an example, on Wednesday morning. That is a possibility. Not a probability at this point, but that is a possibility. And so there's a range of outcomes here, even though we are now about 36 hours out from this thing starting. Again, greater ice concerns in coastal Alabama and northwest Florida. We do have an ongoing winter storm warning already posted for most of the Texas coast, extending inland to San Antonio and Austin, all the way down to the Rio Grande Valley. You've also got much of Louisiana and even coastal Mississippi now involved in a winter storm warning. You've got Jackson and Harrison counties, along with Pearl River and Hancock counties over in southeast Mississippi, now under a winter storm warning, and that will be extended farther to the east. Most likely in the overnight hours, a winter storm warning will be posted for part, if not all, of our local area here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida. Same thing for the southeast Mississippi counties. George and Greene and Wayne counties points back to the west. Winter storm warning likely coming for you as well. And don't forget, extreme cold warning tonight. That's in place tonight due to these wind chill values that are going to get down to single digits in the morning hours of Monday. So a very cold night ahead, really cold nights ahead, as we have multiple cold evenings and mornings upcoming. But the big deal is Tuesday, when we could have a good bit of snow in here, along with the potential for ice near the coast. Here's some good news. If you're not a cold weather fan, we do finally see 60s on the board on Sunday. So that certainly is something to look forward to if you're not pleased about the snow. Going to get some milder weather as we get into the latter half of the upcoming weekend. But before we get there, we've got to get through this winter storm coming our way on Tuesday. Again, core risk from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., but impacts possible as early as, say, 5 or 6 in the morning. And so, again, plan to get somewhere and stay there for the duration of this snow and ice event as we get into your Tuesday. My plan of action is to have another video posted in the morning hours on Martin Luther King Day on tomorrow, on Monday. That will be up at the normal scheduled time of 7:15 a.m. I'll have updates posted throughout the day in the Red Zone Weather app ahead of another live video update tomorrow night. That's the plan of action for now. And of course, the daily video on Tuesday morning at 7:15 as well, as we look ahead to the potential for what could be historic snowstorm across South Alabama and Northwest Florida. Please, if you have snow pictures or mixed precipitation pictures on Tuesday, send those to me on Facebook. I would love to pass those along in our live videos that we plan to do on Tuesday. And again, next video update happens tomorrow morning at 7:15 a.m. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson saying goodbye for now. Let me know if you have specific questions in the comments below, and I'll try to get to those in just a little bit. Have a good evening.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.